So a really cool feature in Illustrator that you can do to customize your text is envelope distort. And what it does is you can take text like this and fit it to any shape. So all of these shapes here that I have on the right hand side are vectors. And the one important thing is this shape has to be on top of the text, meaning if you were to see the order of it, the shape should be above the text. Um, if you aren't sure how to do that, remember you can go to Arrange and bring the shapes to the front. You also may want to put that on a solid colored background. So once you do the envelope distort, it removes this color information. So I like to keep a copy of these just in case, set over to the side. And now I'll show you how it works. You don't have to actually have them overlapping. You just select the two objects. So I'll take these two objects, make sure they're both selected. I just drew a window around them. You can also shift click on them. And if you go down here under object to envelope distort, you'll see there's a few options. Make with warp, with mesh, or with top object. In this instance, I want to do with the top object. So I click that, and you'll see, boom, the text slants in the direction of that shape. Do the same thing with circle. The more complex of the shape, the more complex the letters get changed and moved around. So depending on the shape, you may not get the result that you really like. So here's what I'm saying, like sometimes you want to put this onto an actual shape. So let's say I wanted it on this background circle here. I would change the color now, send it behind there, and so now you have this text on top of a shape that kind of fits to that a little bit nicer. Do one more here. And you can get some really cool looking stuff. The other thing I wanted to point out is you can do your own warping of text. So if you don't want it to fit to a specific shape, you can go up to envelope distort, and there's actually two objects here. You can make with warp, which is basically going to the text warp options, or you can go to this mesh, and that you can specify how many rows and columns you want to create within your text. So you can hit a preview so you can see it. Okay, so see it's breaking this up into all these different pieces. Maybe you don't want that many. Maybe you want less rows, more columns. The more or less you have will determine how much you can bend or move this text. So now I have all these different pieces. I can use my direct selection tool and I can shape and bend this piece by grabbing anchor points. So like if I want to just bump up the S or bump the M down, you can move and adjust all this stuff. So this one's really cool. A lot of times you'll see some design work where they're trying to combine a bunch of words together to kind of fit a shape, and this is one way to do it. You just get a bunch of warp options and just bend these letters together so that you can fit multiple words into one piece. So this is kind of your own way of doing an envelope distort without having it fit to a specific shape. You can get some really cool stuff this way. So there's a little challenge for you for the weekly lesson that you're going to be asked to do, and be creative with it. Think about how you can break up a bunch of different texts and use them into shapes. You can also think about how you could take a shape and break it into several pieces and fit different words in each one of those pieces. So a nice useful tool if you want to kind of customize your text. Envelope distorts.